Okay. Hi, girls and grays. Welcome to today's video on how to. I have a special guest, Miss Tia. Hi, Tia.
Hey, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Um,
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Hey, so we're going to talk to you about your journey and career in graphic design. Before I ask you the first question, I wanted to just like tell my mentees and our viewers like how you and I met. So Tia and I graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design, the Atlanta campus.
hmm
And do you remember how we met? Do you remember like the exact moment?
I do not remember exactly how we met. I just remember the first time, the first memory of us is
Mhm.
us in a classroom, and I'm helping you with your logo for
Yes,
one of the businesses.
yes,
Yeah. I remember
yes.
us sitting in the classroom. I don't know how we got to that classroom. It's like my first memory of us working together.
Absolutely. I remember also because we worked together in the
hmm
admission office. So how I remember
Yep.
approaching with you was you were at the front desk and I was like at the second desk. So we're both,
Mhm.
I'm a student ambassador. You were a student rep, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Had longer hours than me. Ugh.
hmm
But you were there all day doing your work. And I'm just like, what is your major? You're like graphic design. I'm like, where you from? From New Orleans. Girl, I'm from
Yeah,
Mississippi.
yeah.
It was just a great vibe.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like we stayed in contact and
Mhm.
you were full major was in graphic design. My minor was
Yep.
in graphic design. So it was like you were literally my mentor through that process because
hmm
graphic design is not easy at our
Yeah.
university. Not
Yeah. hmm
going to just learn about your process to encourage and inspire someone to actually go in this career field because little do people realize like you consume graphic design work and content every single day from the apps that you click to the websites that you go to purchase clothes or even food. You consume
Exactly.
art and we are not starving artists. I got some meat on my bones. Do you see?
Yes. Yes. Not starving at all. At all.
Period. So, okay, the first
Mhm.
question is just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you went to school, and everything like that.
Yeah, like you said, I'm originally from Louisiana. So that's where I got my start. And then we moved up here to Georgia. And then I attended the Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta. So that's where I got my formal start. But from a young age, I was exposed to art by my dad and my aunt. I remember I would catch my dad up late at night drawing at the kitchen table, and he would let me come and draw with him instead of going to sleep like I was supposed to.
Mm,
And when I was young, he always had this dream of starting a clothing line. So he would have all these like logo sketches lying around. And that's when I became really fascinated with logos and branding and just graphic design in general. And then I have a great aunt who was an art professor at Southern University in Louisiana. So she really helped me on my journey to becoming a creative, from buying me like art supplies on my birthday to letting me hang out in her painting studio that she had at her home. So I really credit them too for kind of honing in my love for the arts and design in general.
oh,
So
I love
yeah.
that. I never
Mhm.
knew that about your aunt. I knew about your
Yeah.
dad,
Hmm.
but that's so beautiful. And it's like, your first introduction of a female artist was right in your own home. So,
Yeah.
for your high school experience, did you go to an art high school?
No, it wasn't an art high school, but I got really blessed and lucky. They actually offered graphic design classes at my high school. So, yeah, I was walking the halls one day, looking at the classes when I first got there. And in the graphic design classroom, they had this big mural that said like graphic design, like, and it was like really pretty. It was like graphic design written out in letters. And then in each letter, they had like this really cool painting like through each letter. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me look into this class a little bit more. So yeah, that's where I got started in high school, and the teacher there was great. I forgot her name, but she was amazing. She really honed in on my my desire to be a graphic designer. She was really helpful in kind of teaching all of us in the class the ins and outs of graphic design, and yeah, it was just great. It was just great. I got really really blessed to be in that class. So
That
yeah.
is awesome. So, like, with that experience, did you take that class like your whole high school career, or was it just your freshman year?
Yeah, I actually got to take it, not my freshman year. I don't think the class was available for freshmen yet,
Okay.
but yeah, from sophomore to senior year, I was able to take a class. They had like offered different levels, so it was like intro to graphic design was like the first level, and then all the way up to um, the different levels like packaging design. Like each class has a specific name and a specific area of graphic design that we will be learning in the class. So that's kind of how that went in high school. So
Cool.
yeah.
So, like to
Mhm.
any teacher that is watching, art is definitely needed in schools. Like we love our
Mhm.
art teachers, especially those that teach us that it's a career. Like even for
Yeah.
myself, growing up in Mississippi, and when I transitioned from homeschool into school, like I just adored my art teachers, adored anything that allowed me to express my creativity, from
Yeah.
choir to yearbook. And it's just like those are like the lowest funding,
Mhm.
courses in school,
Yeah,
but those are like where the brightest, innovative minds are positioned. So
exactly.
I had to create my own like art club just to show my school like there's a community of students that do not want to run track. Like we like painting the walls and we like
Yes,
writing poetry.
yes, yes, yes. I didn't know that about you. You started an art club. That's cool. I love
It did,
that. I love
girl, 'cause
that.
I mean, they were all concerned about these championship games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we actually designed their championship
Hmm.
shirt, and we
Yeah.
also designed like the prom flyer. So it was like we were educating just, I would say, closed-minded people of like this is art, like this is what we do. And it's so
Hmm.
cool now, girl, because like my high school logo has changed. I'm like graphic designer.
Really? Mhm.
Like what?
That's cool. Hmm.
So the second question is like out of all the careers, and obviously it sounds like this has been like your interest as a child, but you could have
Yeah.
chosen any career, but why did you choose to go into graphic design?
Just because of that art that I grew up around, like it's kind of the only thing that kind of really interested me in that way. I thought about being a dentist at one point, and I thought about being like a social worker at one point, but I always just came back to like art and creativity. And as soon as I found graphic design and like I learned that you can make money in this, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I can make money and have fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, this sounds much better than being like a dentist or a social worker. So yeah, it's like that's why I chose it. Like I don't know. I wouldn't say it's easy, but when it's fun, it feels easy.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, this is the career path that I'm definitely going down.
Yes. And
Mhm.
it all adds up to you because you are, in our school, which is plug
Mhm.
this in, it is sleepless nights. Like we just always working to the sunrise. But it's like
Yeah.
whenever I would catch you like in the computer lab, it was like you were in a zone. It wasn't even like
Yeah.
you like
Hmm.
everybody looking like zombies and got bags of chips and eyes like this. Like you were just like in a zone, like, okay, I'm gonna go take a lunch break. Like, just it was like your
Hmm.
swag. And so that makes so much sense that it was, crafted and cultivated in you at such an early age for you to like come to a school where that pressure of critique, that pressure of perfection, that pressure of just like, doing the very best that you can with the tools that you've learned, you pretty much like had the grit to do that. And so I would say,
Hmm.
like, why did you choose SCAD? Like, and did you explore any other art schools?
Yeah, so I was exposed to scab from that high school teacher I just talked about. Yeah, she told us about scab. She also talked to us about the Art Institute, and
Wow.
then she also talked to us about Full Sail University in
Mhm.
Florida. And
Mhm.
then that class is really cool because all those different schools they sent reps to our classes.
Right.
So we got a rep from Full Sail, a rep from the Art Institute came to our class. I don't think we ever got a rep from SCAD, which
Mhm.
is funny because that's the one I ended up going to. But yeah, they would send reps to our class, and then I actually passed by the building one day. I was just driving along with my family, and saw the building, and I was like, "Oh, the building looks kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Let me really look into this." So yeah, that's kind of how I got into learning about SCAD.
Did you ever go to a SCAD day? Like that's how I was really exposed to it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. After all of that, after I saw the building, after talking with my teacher, I did sign up for a SCAD day. We went, we took the tour. The tour guide was amazing. I think her name was, what was her name? I want to say Alexandria or something like
Okay,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She was
Yeah.
working there when you started. Yeah, when
Mhm.
you started school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. It's not with an A, but yeah, she was there. She was our tour guide. She was amazing, and it just felt really I don't know, I was all the creativity around the
Yeah,
building, from the artwork to the rooms, how they were decorated, and it was just amazing. So I was like, yeah, this is where I'm gonna go. This is where I'm
I
gonna go.
love that. Yes, because for me too, like just going to the same school as you, it's like we
Mhm.
come from the same beehive. Like literally that's our logo. So it's kind
Mhm.
of like you are that whole mindset of innovation, collaboration, like that truly is the just the grit and butter of the university. And like for us both to like give back to the school by giving our time and being those ambassadors and advocates to just share like, hey, if you have the skill set and even just that desire for art, like this is a place for you because I hate to say this, but I think I should, it's not for lazy people.
It's
Like you
not.
cannot
Not.
survive that culture if you're the type to just wake up. We even have a 5 minute grace period. Well, isn't it five
Yes.
or
Yep.
15? It's five.
Hmm.
Can't even miss
Yeah.
4 classes. Do you know my freshman year, I didn't even go home not one time.
Hmm.
Not my
It
mom
gets
had
like that.
to pay
It
everything. It was
mm-hmm.
it was
Hmm.
literally a corporate experience for university. And so why do I share this with my mentees? Because I want them to see that your upbringing was passion and that flexibility to learn. And then you chose an institution that
Yeah.
presented like that corporation of skill set. And so now that
Hmm.
you pivot and you're working in the career, how has your personal faith helped you in this industry of design?
Yes, my faith has helped me a lot in the industry. Just believing in God and praying and knowing He'll get me to where I want to be has kept me going. Especially in those moments when it was like difficult to find a job initially in the beginning. And even when I did finally get a job, when I knew it was time for promotion, I really leaned on my faith and also put the work in alongside my belief to make sure, those things happen. So in any not just graphic design, I feel like that applies to like all industries, but with graphic design specifically, just like leaning in on my faith and just knowing and putting the work in that, I can get to where I want to go, no matter what. Because graphic design industry specifically, I feel like a lot of people don't look like us as like Black women in that industry. So really having that faith and like praying, alongside putting in the hard work, we have to work a little extra to get, where we want to go, because people don't look like us, in my industry at least. So yeah, I put in a lot of faith, while on my journey, to becoming like a graphic designer. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Hmm.
love that. And it's necessary to say because faith helps us to endure. And a
Yeah.
part of like our experience, especially as women of color in the art industry, is that it's changing slowly, but the
Hmm.
diversity is necessary. And it's like, because of your upbringing or because of, the way that you grew up, I'm sure just like me, you want to present yourself in the best light. We know
Hmm.
like every first impression is literally maybe the last impression, or what he said, she say literally still happens today. The
Yeah.
art community is such a cookie community too, that
Hmm.
it's like you do have to
Absolutely.
have, yeah, you do have to have that. And then I think why I always say like relatable to you is just like it's like we're our own institution. Like I'm cool with everybody, but I have my own mind. I don't have
Yeah.
to do what you tell me to do. And if
Hmm.
it's against my faith, like I love you, but I don't do that. And so
Exactly.
I think it's so important for like girls and grace to understand that faith literally has to be applied even in your career path. And I
Hmm.
think a testimony that maybe you could share is like when you graduated during the pandemic, I felt bad for
Yeah.
you, girl. I was like,
Hmm.
we can't even celebrate
Yeah.
like we want
I didn't
to.
get a graduation. It was just, ooh. Mm.
How was your faith tested? And like, what did you learn in that moment of
Yeah. Mm.
unexpected change?
Faith was definitely tested in that moment. What I learned was, though, like, don't give up. Like, you always have to be ready to pivot. Anything can happen at any moment. So just remaining strong, strong-headed, and believing that all things can happen through
Yeah,
Christ, and
yeah,
just like believing in Him and knowing that, um, I don't know, like bad moments don't last forever.
that's
We can always make it through literally anything. So that's kind of where my headset was in 2020. Graduating in a pandemic, I was just very, very headstrong and just believing that, um, bad times don't last forever, basically. So that's where I was, in that moment.
yeah. No, that's real good. Because whether it's a pandemic or a loss of a
Mhm.
loved one, or the fact that we have some classmates that literally transferred from our school to graduate somewhere else due to financial hardship, or the fact that the school culture wasn't necessarily what they were expecting. So it's like you have to pivot through the change and just also know like greater is coming. And then even, and I think for me with the pandemic showed me as an artist, because that's when I had took a break from school as well.
Mhm.
Was just like to celebrate like the milestones, like to be able to take a class, celebrate it, to be able to finish a project, celebrate it. I think that's what is the key thing. And so, with your experience and your years of work, and just knowing that this is not only your career, but it's also your passion, what
Mhm.
advice would you give to young girls who want to become either artists or a graphic designer, and how they can stay strong in their faith with pursuing these goals?
Yeah, I would say as an artist in general, making sure you're working with clients whose faith and belief aligns with yours is very important. And don't feel pressured to work with clients or create anything that goes against your beliefs just for money or popularity.
Mm.
And I can speak for the graphic designer industry. In my experience, most brands I've worked with have had faith and belief and strong morals intact, and they know that carries into the majority of their consumer base. So luckily, I really never had to design for anything outside of my faith due to that. So I've gotten lucky in that regard. But again, just in general, if you're becoming an artist and you want to remain strong in your faith, like again, just don't feel pressured to work with any clients or create anything, that goes against what you believe in. I think that's the most important part. Mm-hmm.
No, that's the best advice that I've heard, especially returning to art, because people do not
Mm-hmm.
realize that you have the power to say no. Why
Yeah.
gain the whole world and lose your soul? You have the power to say no. It may be cute on paper, but baby, it will kill your spirit because it
Mhm.
does not go with your king. And so
Yeah.
that is so, so powerful that you said that.
Mhm.
Another thing that I was going to say that also teaches us as young women to have boundaries.
Yep.
But not cross our boundaries just because it's pay for, work. If we know that God is our provider, then we know like what we should stand for. So that's why it's
Mhm.
also important to have like-minded friends, ladies, like-minded. T, what you doing, girl? I told them no, it didn't go with Jesus. Girl, I know that's right,
Mhm. Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So my
Mhm.
favorite part of this interview is showing the girls your portfolio, and I would like for you to just, go just like how you did tours, but in your own way,
Yeah.
explain to girls the process to becoming a graphic designer. So I don't know if you want to show your portfolio first or talk about like
Mhm.
the.
Yeah, I could talk about the process a little bit first,
Okay.
but so I love the graphic design industry because there's so many ways to get started and so many career avenues you can take. My personal process was like the school route. Like I said, my high school offered graphic design classes, so that's where my formal learning started. And then I attended SCAD and then graduated from there and was able to find a job in the marketing field. But there's so many resources out there if you want to learn graphic design outside of school. There's so many great YouTube channels that you can learn from. One of my favorites is called The Future, and the man that runs it is his name is Chris Doe. He gives like great information just around graphic design in general, not only like the creative part of it, but like the business part of it too. So I would definitely look into him. That's a great channel. And then you can go into freelance work as well. So setting up a really great portfolio page and getting clients by word of mouth. It's just so many ways to get into like the graphic design field. So that's why I love it personally. And
Um,
then let's see. I could pull up my portfolio real quick. Let me go to it.
And then while you're doing that, I was going to say maybe one of these days we could do a workshop with you on how to develop a graphic design portfolio, because that is like the key thing, especially in today where
Yeah.
colleges are looking, and we know that personally hand to hand with working in the admission office, but like
Mhm.
knowing that your social media should show your artwork. You have a portfolio site, which I always refer people to like Behance because it's free, but I'll allow you to share your screen. But yes, I think that that's the key thing, is to definitely be knowledgeable of things so that people can know your artwork.
Yes, yes. Very important. Let me see. Gotta turn my screen sharing on.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not letting me share. They're making me, they want me to restart the whole program. So
Girl, no. Okay, I
you
got
might need to pull it up. It's called it's just my name, Tia Mack. Yeah, there you go.
you. You know
Cool.
I know,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
girl.
Cool. Yeah, so this is my portfolio. I think the biggest part of presenting a portfolio is making it feel like you is the most important part. So on my portfolio, I have my personal logo in
Mhm.
the corner, top left corner there. And then my personal style is very clean and modern. So this one is very simple and to the point, but everyone has their different personalities. If you want to add if you want to be more colorful, if you want to add like icons or cool illustrations on yours, there's like an ample amount of options for creating a portfolio site to make it feel like you. But this is just mine. And then I have a couple of projects on here. Like I said, I work in the marketing field. So there's like a wide range of projects that you will see. um, it's called paid social. It's the field I mainly work in, and what that means is creating ads for social media. So Instagram, Twitter, any social media app that's out there. I've created some ads for brands to go on those sites. The one that we're looking at right now, these are some creatives that I did for the Dropbox brand, some videos and some static ads, and then some banners at the bottom as well. So these are like the banners that you'll see pop up when you're scrolling the internet. They can be annoying sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm the one that designs those. But,
Exactly. So
yeah.
pay
Mhm.
attention.
Yeah. So yeah, a plethora of work here. And then I also do video ads. These are one of them that I've done for, and some of them that I've done for ancestry.com. I've storyboarded these animations here. So these are just showing you the different, basically promoting the ancestry products. So yeah, this is what we do. We work with a copywriter, a motion designer, and then I'm in charge, like I said, of the storyboarding. So all of this was designed by me. And then these will run on YouTube, again, YouTube ads, and then internet video ads. And then we also do some streaming TV ads. So the ads that you see in between when you're watching your Netflix or Hulu shows, I designed those video ads for them as well. So that's kind of the bulk of my work there. Video ads, paid social ads, and then lastly, I do email creative as well. If you want to show some of that, I think you showed the DoorDash emails. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I've done some emails for Samsung. So when you sign up for like brand newsletters or sign up, give them your information when you like sign up, either when you buy like Samsung products, or just sign up for, their email listing. Those ads that you'll see are designed by a graphic designer. So yeah, I've designed some emails for a couple of brands. Um, so yeah, I've just really loved my career so far, just working on these really big brands and contributing my ideas and just creative mind overall to these big brands has been really cool. And then lastly, what we're looking at here is I do branding as well. So this was a branding project that I did for a family friend of mine. Um, they owned a financial company helping people with their finances. So I rebranded their logo and built a whole new brand strategy for them. Yeah, so we have some collateral here, t-shirts, tote bags, little buttons. And then above this, you saw some of the logos and then some of the potential social media ads that they might put on their Instagram page. So yeah, just I can do a little bit of everything, around the graphic design
Jack of
um,
all trades.
world. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, I am so grateful for you, Tia. Thank you so much for talking to us and talking
Of
to
course.
Grace. Ladies, this is a career. Do not be intimidated. If Tia can do it, so can you.
Exactly.
I'm
If
going to
little
put
old me can do it, so can you.
her.
Anybody can do it.
Anyone.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna put your information in the description box so our girls can like stay in tune or reach out to you personally. But
Mhm.
thank you all so much for liking this video. Please share, leave some positivity in the comment section. But thank you so much for your time, Tia. And I look
Yeah.
forward to collaborating with you on another project.
Can't wait. Thank you guys.
All right.